I thought for this month's ritual, it'd be really nice to do a self-love spell jar. So that's what we're going to do. Now for this ritual, you're going to need some sort of spell jar. I've got one of these little ones with a cork top, but any jar can be used for this. So whether it's an old herb jar, an old pot, whatever you've got, if you've got something fancy like one of these, you can use that as well. Whatever you've got, it'll be absolutely fine. Just make sure it's been cleaned and cleansed. Now you can do that with incense or whatever. These are brand new, so I'm not worrying about that. Well, I say new, they haven't been used. It's been on my shelf for a while, but that's fine. So as well as the little spell jar, I've got some rose quartz chips. If you haven't got any chips, and if your jar is bigger with a big enough stopper, you can just use a rose quartz tumblestone if you've got one. We've got a pink candle, some dried rose petals, some dried calendula petals. I've also got some rosemary, some lavender, and some pink salt. I've also got a little toothpick, because what we're going to do in a minute is inscribe the candle, but we'll get to that in a little bit. So first things first, you just pop your crystals in. Now, as you're doing this, I want you to say to yourself, I am worthy of love. 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 However you want to express it. Once you put those in, start with your dried ingredients. Now, it may well be, if your jar is only this big, you won't have space for everything. So just put in little bits of each one. But what you want to do is put enough so that there is a nice smell, if you like. So I've got this rosemary, and as I'm pouring the rosemary in, there we go, I'm saying, I allow myself to be loved. I allow myself to be loved. I allow myself to be loved. Rosemary's a very, very good all-round herb for magic, but especially in self-love spells and things. It promotes protection. It promotes lots of nice harmonious working. I also find that it helps other spell elements work together. The next ingredient is lavender. Now you'll find this in a lot of self-love and loving spells because it is such a nice fragrant herb, and again it promotes self-love and loving energy. So as we're putting this into our jar, you want to say to yourself, I open myself to love. I open myself to love. Can't get it out of the packet. I open myself to love. I open myself to love. Okay. Next, we use our rose petals. Now these are dried, which is why they're discoloured. It doesn't matter because they're going to still have all the properties that rose petals have. It's within them. If, however, you want to use fresh rose petals, you can. Just be aware, if you are putting this somewhere for a little while, if you're going to have it on your altar for a while, with fresh rose petals, it can sometimes go a little bit moldy and fusty. So just be aware of that. That's why I normally use the dried version. But as I'm putting the rose petals in, I say, I offer my love to others. I offer my love to others. I offer my love to others. Now, I wonder if that's going to be small enough. Yes, it is. Just to tamp that down a little bit. There we go. Next, I'm going to use the calendula leaves. Petals. Now, calendula is just a lovely word for marigold. So again, in the summer months, if you live somewhere where you have marigold flowers growing, you can always pick them and dry them, and then you have them year round. And for this one, I'm saying, I accept and approve of myself. 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 There we go. You can see it's starting to have lots of different colours and things involved inside. And then the last ingredient is our rock salt. So this is Himalayan pink salt. And I'm just going to pour that in. And as I do, we say our final affirmation, which is, I love myself now and always. 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 I'm going to put a little bit more in, just fill it to the top. And again, I love myself now and always. So there we go. A little bit more just in the top. And again, keep repeating the affirmations. I love myself now and always. I love myself now and always. And then I'm going to pop the cork on. So there we have it. We've got the rose quartz sitting at the bottom with the other dried herbs going all the way to the salt at the top. Now that, I think, looks quite pretty. Again, because I've mixed the herbs with the rose quartz just at the bottom, you can see it's all sort of mixed in there. I like that personally. If you would rather have that pink layer at the bottom from the rose quartz, you don't obviously have to stir it or move it or shake it like I did. Now we're going to take our pink candle, and using our cocktail stick, we're going to write the word love on the candle. If you haven't got a cocktail stick, something like a needle will be absolutely great. If you've got one of the specific carving tools, that'll be fine. Anything that's got a sharp enough point is useful. Even something like a pencil, as long as it gets that same job done. All you've got to do is just inscribe the word love. And I'm also drawing some hearts just up the candle, like so. Now, if you wanted to, you could anoint the candle with a particular oil, such as a lavender oil or even a rose oil. Be very careful with rose oil because it can be incredibly expensive. And if you find rose oil that is reasonably affordable, chances are it's a fragrance oil rather than an essential oil. So I would tend to use more essential oils when I use my anointing. However, as you all know, my other half has asthma, and just putting the essential oils on here and burning it, I don't want to do that right now because, again, I don't want to trigger any asthma response. So I'm going to move all of these little herbs out of the way, the little sachets. These will all be available on my website, by the way. I'm still working on the processing for that, but if you want to check out thewitchesroad.co.uk, have a little look at that. So then we've got our candle, and as you can see here, if I hold it up, you can just about make out where I've engraved the word love. So what I'm doing now is I'm just going to light the candle, and I'm going to say the following words. As I ignite this flame, I ignite the love within. I love and approve of myself. I accept and forgive myself. I embrace and nurture myself, today and every day. So mote it be. I'm going to pour bits of the wax onto the cork on the spell jar. Now again, if you've not used one of these spell jars, you can use anything, but you just want to seal the lid. And again, don't worry too much about this part. The sealing of it is more ceremonial than it is anything else. In the olden days, when corks were about as good as the seals could be, it was obviously more important to seal it with wax than these days, where we have airtight plastic and other sort of seals available. But it also makes it look very pretty with the pink wax. So there you go. So I've sealed it, and now I'm just going to drop a couple of drops on the cork itself to stand my candle on. There you go. And I'm actually just going to let that burn down. I'm going to sit here while that does and just think about the words that I've used today. So again, I love and approve of myself. I accept and forgive myself. I embrace and nurture myself today and every day. Now once the candle is burnt down almost to the top, that's when I would take it off, blow it out, snuff it out and remove the stub, because as you can see, once the flame gets really, really close, if you are using a cork stopper like I am for this one, you can see it is still flammable, and that candle wax is going to act as an accelerant for that flame, so just be a little bit careful. Now what I would do once I've done this is close any circle that I've opened, in whichever way that I would have opened it, just close it down, and then this can either sit on my altar next to me on my bedside table, but if you want to, you could also take this with you in a little pouch just to remind yourself of that self-love work that we've done. Let me know down in the comment section if you've done this month's self-love spell jar and what you thought of it. Also, please do give me any feedback on this video and this monthly series. It's something new for the channel, and I hope that you're enjoying it as much as I enjoy putting the information together. But that is going to be it from me today. Don't forget, if you haven't done already, do please give the video a lovely thumbs up. That helps me out no end with YouTube's algorithm. If you're seeing me for the first time, please do hit that subscribe button and then ding your bell. And change your settings to all so that YouTube lets you know each and every time I upload a video or go live. I do actually have 2 weekly live streams every Tuesday and Sunday evening from 7 p.m. UK time, where I do tarot readings live here on YouTube. I also do a members only live stream every Sunday at 6 p.m. as well. More details will be in the description box if you'd like to support the channel a little further and become a member. But that is going to be it for me today, and as I always say, stay you, stay true, stay authentic, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye bye.